Welcome to Bam Bam's Boom Boom Boom, starring your host, Bam Bam, and frankly, whoever the fuck that I want.
And welcome here to Bam Bam's Boom Boom Room. I am surrounded by women, as you can see, which is normally not a worrying thing. It's actually a good thing, but today we have the Copenhagen Comedy Academy. Screenwriters, comedy stand-up, and sketch writing.
Yep.
And let's go around the table. We have Christine.
I'm Christine Ann Gertz, and I am the head of Copenhagen Comedy Academy.
Oh, wow. So you're the boss.
Yes, I am the boss.
All right. Let's see if she's funny if she's the boss, right? And we have Maya.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Maya. I am, one would call it an aspiring comedian, but honestly, I just do this for the experience. I love it. It's super fun. And I've met so many great people along the way, you yourself included, speaking of Bam Bam. So, yeah, that's why I'm here.
And last but not least, we have Sadi.
Hello, and thank you, Mr. Bam Bam, for having us. I am Sadi. I am from here, Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm an IT professional by day, and then I'm a struggling comedian during night. So,
And somebody with an amazing voice.
and I have an amazing voice.
I can sing your ass off, but we'll get to that later. And one of the questions before the podcast started was you, Maya, saying about my name, Bam Bam, if I like Flintstones. And I actually have a little bit in my comedy where my cousin Penelope, who is a couple of years older than me, she had a little brother, or she has a little brother. He's still alive. His name is Mark, and he was born 6 weeks before me. And she was a huge Flintstones fan, and she said to my mom that if I was born a girl, I should be Pebbles from the Flintstones.
Which is cute.
Which is cute. And instead, I got Bam Bam because I was a boy. And that has kind of stuck with me. And the joke goes that her little brother, who was born 6 years prior to me, or he's 6 weeks older than me, he got named Marcus Antonius after a Roman general and politician and strategist. And I got the little white retarded kid.
The Neolithic baby.
The Neanderthal kid that is ultra violent and severely autistic, who has no speech whatsoever. I mean, he's borderline retarded.
But has that affected you, though? Because in the Middle East, we believe that a person's name reflects the the characteristics that you're going to have as an adult.
I'm definitely Bam Bam.
Do you have a set of drums?
I play drums, but
There you go.
I play more bass guitar and sing and stuff like that, or growl, as some may say in the metal genre. But yeah, I'm definitely closer to Bam Bam than Marcus Antonius.
You're the creative one.
I want it to be like, oh, I'm so much closer to Marcus Aurelius, but no. You all know Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. We have a bit of smart people here in the podcast.
We are a group of smart women, well-read.
That exists? Whoa. Whoa. This podcast
Are we going there?
This got spicy. It's got mad
Bam
spicy.
Bam, if it makes you feel better,
Yeah.
I literally only read Nancy Drew books my whole life and nothing past Nancy Drew books.
I was the 3 investigators.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Fuck yeah, man.
Oh, pick your own adventure!
Exactly. Yeah, and I never could choose, so I got past like the 3rd page. I was like, sandwich. Yeah.
Oh, what more is there?
Yeah,
It's great
exactly.
literature.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to go down Nerdgasm Road, it'll be fun to go down Nerdgasm because you're IT, so you have some nerd skeletons in your closet.
She does.
Yeah. And not like Sadi is you're originally Iranian?
I'm actually Iranian Pakistani.
Wow, talk about skeletons in the
Yep.
closet. That's more like a graveyard? Not you as like specifically.
Wow.
I know, right? I'm just here to offend.
Oh my gosh. Well, we can talk about Copenhagen Comedy Academy.
Yes, but I don't want to offend that.
Move.
I just want to offend personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will take charge now.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, Christine, you take charge right now.
Yes. So I run Copenhagen Comedy Academy, and we teach people how to be stand-ups.
Wow.
We create stand-up comics. That is what we
Interesting.
do. And we have a class that's 6 weeks long.
Mhm.
And really, I always say to people it's 6 weeks long, but really, it never ends. They stay forever.
As
But-
they should.
As they should. And so we teach people the basics of stand-up comedy. And the rule is that you are part of the class until you go on stage and perform. We never give up on anybody.
Okay.
And that's really an important thing that we believe in, because we have, we just actually had a class show last night, and we had one student who got a little cold feet right in the morning, as you guys, Maya and Sadi knows. And so, and we've spent the last hour planning how to get him on stage in some other open mic, because it's so important to get people over that fear and get them on stage. It's really important.
And in all fairness, it is the biggest hurdle of resistance that there is for any sort of person going up to do public speaking, performing theater, comedy, music. Getting on stage is getting over that fear. Is what, maybe 70%. The rest is your material, your skill.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's bravery. And there's so many things in life that it's just about getting over that hurdle.
Exactly. Just doing it. Just
Yeah.
do it, right?
Exactly.
And so that's what we do, is we make sure that your set is grade A material.
Yeah.
And we really work on that. Like, we make sure your set is going to do well.
Mm.
And then, so that's not even a worry. So then you just go on stage, and then it's about having fun and playing that, you're a musician, you've played bass, and I actually have played bass as well.
Awesome.
And so I was in jazz band when I was in, high school as a bass player.
Yeah.
And, and that's what we have something at the Comedy Academy called the Notes of Comedy.
Mhm.
And that's from jazz, because as a bass player, you have to know your chords. You read your chords, and you play the background of the bass line
Mhm.
for your song, and you have all this artistic creativity as a bass player. You get to choose, like, you get to mess with people. It's actually one of the best instruments to play, is because you have so much control. You get to mess with people. You get to play with the drums. I mean, it's great. And so that's how we teach comedy, is we have the notes of comedy. We teach them the chords, the basics,
The foundation,
the
if you may.
foundations.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we let them run. We let them run, and then we, of course, make sure everything's funny.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
sounds good. That's like an old Shakespeare, cry havoc and
Yeah.
unleash the dogs of
exactly.
war.
Yeah.
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 I get it.
And we really, like, some days I let people perform and I stand back and I just let them do their thing. And then other days I'll be like, all right, we gotta pull this stuff back.
But I think it's the right way to go, is
Yeah.
if you've given them all the technical know-how,
Exactly.
and you've given them that 30%, then you only have to focus on the bravery, on the courage,
Yeah.
on getting up on stage. And I don't know, I think in this day and age, compared to, I don't know how old you guys are, I'm 44, and it's one of those things where I seem to see more introverts now than I did before. Maybe because of social media, because back in those days you didn't have social media. The introverts just didn't go out.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of with the introverts, and now these introverts, which I think is great, want to come out and do something. I know a lot of comedians that are heavy introverts.
Mhm.
And come on, let's be honest, most comedians, they're broken. I mean, or not they, we are broken and have a lot of baggage with us, and
Very true.
many of us introverted put the list of 3 letters or 4 letters, PTSD or autism or whatever, and that's what makes them genius in some ways. That gives them that little special, you have a special badge, here you go. See, we're making fun of retarded people here at Copenhagen Comedy Academy.
No, don't say that. But no, actually have something
But
to say on.
he's right about
No,
being
yeah.
introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I may just like provide a little bit of an example for that as well, I think it's very important to say that we actually have become a community.
Yeah.
Just because we hold each other's fears.
Yep.
You know, as you said, like it takes bravery to come up on stage. Not for everybody. Because like for me, for example, I have worked on a TV station for about 2 years. I speak regularly at conferences as part of my work. And like I'm very comfortable in front of audiences.
Yeah.
But I have, for me, this is just like one thing that I can do just because I want it. You know?
Exactly.
But like I've noticed that like a lot of people as well, like they are struggling to come up on stage as well. But then all you have to do is provide like a very, very, very welcoming environment for them. And I think like that's what Christine has been able to do for us, because like we all like hold each other's fears in a way, and we kind of have each other's back, and we kind of support each other. And then you realize, you know, the first time you step on the stage, when you have your showcase, which is part of the course, you're stepping in front of your friends and family. And some people are scared of that, but some people are not. And you literally realize there's nothing that could go wrong. Even if they don't laugh, they will laugh.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
And then you realize it's not that difficult. And that's the first step, when you realize the consequences are not that severe.
I have to chime in on that because I hate saying I respectfully disagree, because respect is a weird word. But
It's a nice way to say it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, well. But I like you guys, so I'll say I respectfully disagree. But I do see the value of that. For me, it's grab the kid by the neck or the collar
the neck, yeah.
and just shove him into the war zone right then and now, into the dogs.
Oh, I do that too.
And and for me,
that happens.
That's happened.
I think that's mostly what you do, right?
But I think that every person is different. All individuals have different ways of coping and different ways of how. You have people that when you go into a workplace, do you want me to show it to you many times, or do you want me to show it to you once and then you sit and work with it? People learn differently. And for me, it's just I need to be thrown off at the deep end.
Yeah.
And that's what I did very late in life doing stand-up. But I'd been on stage. So for me, to be honest, it's heroin for me to be on stage. No matter doing music or comedy, I just love being there. I love being in the middle.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm a heavy extrovert.
There you go.
I'm heavily extroverted.
There you go.
You know, when I grow old, I'll be the old man running around talking to strangers, with or without my pants on, all depending on the senility. You know, like, oh, do you know where my wife is? It's like, oh Christ.
Oh gosh.
So, but then again, everybody is different. All comedians have their own thumbprint in some way, and that just proves on how they use comedy and how they started and how they got into it. It all ends up being for many cathartic, therapeutic, if you may, and some people use it as a bullhorn to get their message out.
And actually, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yes, of course.
And I'm actually gonna say something. Is I actually, for the beginner stand-ups, I actually focus really on teaching people that stand-up comedy is about making the audience happy, about dropping your own views and dropping your own shit, and trying to selflessly bring happiness and joy to a group of people who have been working hard for 8 hours and are tired and are very tired. And that's a lesson that I really try to impart to students, is it's not really about you. It's about making other people happy. It's about selflessness. And that's actually something so important that I try to get across.
Well, that's one way to look at it. I mean, if you have a guy like Bill Burr,
Yeah.
I think he thinks very differently.
Yeah, exactly. And I exactly. And he's actually the very last class, I actually have him as one of my, I teach neuro-linguistic programming, and I actually use his set as an example of how he's used NLP to influence the audience and get a message across to the audience.
Please explain NLP for the people out there.
NLP is neuro-linguistic programming is often used by therapists to try to help people overcome their issues.
Yes.
So it's about reframing and telling stories. To reframing is a big one. I'm not really into NLP, but I know enough to use it for comedy. So reframing is big, where instead of getting mad at this person for something they did to you, you think, okay, let's look at it from their perspective. Maybe it was this, and I'm just going to reframe it in my brain so that I can move on without anger.
So Bill Burr and NLP belong, or how would you put Bill Burr and NLP together?
He uses a technique of higher and lower status in his stand-up routines as well. He casts the audience in a role of lower status than himself, thus making them highly suggestible to his viewpoints and his view on the world.
So you're saying that Bill Burr sees the crowd as just pieces of shit.
Yeah. And that's why I don't watch him.
That's
exactly why I don't watch him.
I love Bill Burr, and I'm a piece of shit.
No, actually, that's an interesting thing, because I actually teach the class only with pre-2000 comics. And the reason why I do that is because pre-2000 comics, they almost, like 1960s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, they all used a format, a very specific format.
That is true.
So you had set up punchlines, you had Seinfeld with observational, and then you also had Judy Carter, the comic Bible. I always tell people, watch Tim Allen. Tim Allen obviously read Judy Carter's book when he was doing jail time. Shh. And he read her book, and his set is just straight out Judy Carter format.
Yeah. Then you have Dangerfield, and you have
exactly.
Rodney Dangerfield, and what's Kinnison?
Yeah.
Too, and Lenny. The name escapes me now.
There's so
Lenny
many.
Bruce. Yeah.
So many.
I think.
Yeah.
You'll correct me out there.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important to bring in a guy like Bill Burr and that genre of ranting and raving.
Yes.
And not necessarily meaning to put the crowd down, but it's the I need to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's mention the godfather of ranting, George Carlin.
Oh, I love him.
George Carlin is hyper intelligent.
And he also likes to reframe things really well.
Yeah.
He does, and the cool thing about George Carlin is you can agree on most of what he says. Because
in my case, all of it.
Yeah, but he puts things into perspective, and then there'll be some minor things where he says, "I don't vote," because when you don't vote, you have the opportunity to bitch.
Yeah.
I don't really necessarily agree with that, but that's it's a matter of semantics.
Yes.
But
Exactly, the reframing, the
Exactly.
semantics, exactly what he does.
Yeah.
He has a punchline, he has a premise, and
Yep.
he reframes it into something that's a different point of view.
and you may not agree with it, but you're thinking, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And that's one of those amazing things a comic can do, is actually change your point of view, and kind of put you in a state of curious ignorance where, like, oh God, I might need to look into that.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting. I mean, you have George Carlin was really good at that. Then you had Dennis Leary, and then you also have Bill Burr right now, who is the premier ranter and raver.
Yep.
And you may hate his point of view, but at one point he'll say something where you go, God damn it, I never thought about that way.
Yeah.
And that's also a great thing as comedians. But I think one of the, as you put it, you have an academy, and you teach that.
Yeah.
But there's so many different nuances and different comedians that do different things.
Yeah.
Let's take Mitch Hedberg, which is the one-liner comedian of and you have a lot of one-liner comedians that are coming up now.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Paul Johnston,
Yeah.
an amazing one-line comedian in Danish and English that just serves them up, and you're just in stitches.
Yeah.
Because he kind of does them one line, and then they kind of evolve just to another step.
Oh, yeah.
And who else do we have? We have these long, like the old school Scottish comedians that will go on huge tangents and then come back to the red line.
Yep.
The storytelling of comedy.
Yes.
which is basically the Scottish and the Irish, and then you go into American, where the early Boston comedians
Yeah.
would do these long, drawn out.
I love
They're
those.
great. Storytelling
love
is
those.
amazing. But what I want to round that out is that comedy is just so diverse and different. There's so many different things. You have shock and awe comedy, Jason Rouse, who will make fun of handicapped people, and a lot of comedians say you should never punch down,
Is it?
and he does that, but it's in that shock and awe where it's so out there.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you did that in real life, you'd be in jail for like a gazillion years.
Yeah, I think just to say, my husband is the owner of Knock Knock Comedy Club, and
Casper?
no, not the short one. Sorry, Casper.
Casper, she said that. I didn't.
Sorry, Casper. The tall
Nick.
one. The tall one.
Was he doing stand up yesterday with me?
What? I don't know if you.
I was on No Stress yesterday.
Oh, he was there too.
Yeah, it's what
It's Nick.
Nick, yeah.
Nick. That's my husband.
The one who looks like Marshall from How I Met Your
Everyone
Mother.
keeps saying that.
Really?
Stop it.
Yeah, he does.
Stop it.
He does.
He looks like Tom Selleck. Get it straight, guys. He looks like Tom
All
Selleck.
right, we're gonna stop this podcast right now because nobody apparently knows what Tom Selleck. I grew up with Tom Selleck.
We know who
Can,
Tom
can I
Selleck
tell
is.
my Tom Selleck story, please?
Yeah.
Does it involve dirty sex?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So when I was a little girl, we
better stop this podcast right now.
I used to put on a dress and paint my nails at age like 3, 4, just before Tom Selleck Magnum PI would come on, so that I would look pretty for Tom.
I mean, come on. I mean, that's an epic mustache.
Yeah.
It is.
Him and Burt Reynolds, I mean, their mustaches are just like,
Yeah.
I salute you, good sir.
Yeah.
I mean, because of those two, I mean, not many men can carry a mustache.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Unless you're a cop.
Your mustache is good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
It
beard,
passes
though.
the mustache
But
police.
I have done I did that one, and I just shaved that off, and I got that one. But my girlfriend was like, if you just have the cop mustache, I'm not sure we're gonna have a lot of sex. So I chose to be diplomatic.
Happy.
So do you groom that?
Oh,
beard
I
and
actually
mustache?
have more product for
Yeah?
my beard, and a lot of coconut oil, a lot
Yeah.
of beard products. So, and it's one of those things where in the old days it was just like, I'm a lumberjack. My beard is just cold weather and gun oil. And now you have like, God, man, men are just starting to kind of catch up to women with having the products in the shower. And I was like, that's all mine. What's that for? Just the beard.
I knew a guy in college who grew his beard out when he didn't get laid. Needless to say, it was very, very long. He braided it. It got so long that he could braid it.
And this is what our comedy classes are like.
Condolences,
So, like,
buddy.
There's theory. We do some things around theory, and then we have a writing exercise.
Okay.
And once we do write our set based on a certain skill or a certain process that Christine has taught us, we go upstairs to the Knock Knock Club stage,
Yeah.
and then we perform it.
Okay, interesting.
So it's just like you get used to performing it in front of like 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 people, depending on like how many we are.
Mm.
And then you perform it, and then you get feedback or you don't, but we laugh at each other's jokes.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then you do that week over week over week,
Yeah.
and then you get super comfortable with all of that.
Yes.
And
Yep.
all of this is from day one.
From day one.
Yeah,
pretty
Okay.
much.
I put them on stage. I actually put the last class on stage with a premise on the moment they walked in.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if one of the good things about if you want to get comedians to really bring their A game and to see how sharp the blade is, it's one
Yeah.
of those bottom of the barrel type things
Yeah.
where I wish we had more of this in Denmark, where you get the audience to write one word on a piece of paper and it goes into a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people take it up, and then they have 1 minute to riff on that.
Yeah.
And to do that, I mean, I remember I used to, when I was younger, do a lot of freestyle hip hop, where you would go and roast each other,
Nice.
or you would get a subject and you would make that subject on them, and then you had to make things rhyme. And you always had like a stencil on words that you knew work, but then you had to make it work against that person or with that person.
Yeah.
And again, if you do that comedy bottom of the barrel, you're taking a subject or you're taking another comedian and you're going to roast that person, and you have to have your stencil, your toolbox, if you may,
Yeah.
well equipped. And then you just put on the flavor and the color and the personality that matches to that. So I think a good comedian, yeah, they're great comedians that just go completely on their script and work with that.
Yeah.
And then you have comedians like Andrew Schultz that just can sit down and just look at a crowd member and just go off on a gigantic tangent.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's one of those things. It's God bless all those comedians, or sorry, Odin bless, or whatever God you believe in. Those comedians that can stick to one script. George Carlin was great with that.
Yeah.
That just kept going off of that script.
Yeah.
And no matter what happened, no laughs or whatever, stayed on line and just walked it down. And then you have comedians that can say, "Oh, this is great. We have a crowd member here who's laughing loud or completely not laughing or whatever, and we can work with that."
Yeah. We
And
go over crowd work in the class.
Crowd work is for me.
We actually have guest comedians come to the class. It's usually Jeff Bond. Like, to be honest, Jeff Bond is our main
Mostly,
Jeff.
yeah.
Jeff.
Main Jeff.
Main Jeff.
Main Jeff. We have a main Jeff.
Yeah.
And
we don't have a side Jeff, but
Yeah,
we have a main
we
Jeff.
And he's so
absolutely-
dreamy.
He is actually. We all know it.
Yes.
It's true. Let's not lie.
I'm
Okay,
glad.
I'm holding judgment just in case the guy has a girlfriend.
I'm glad.
Yes, he's engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad I'm not in jail.
I'm married.
I'm glad I'm not in jail with Jeff Bond.
I've had enough.
There'd be a lot of soap to pick up. sorry, Jeff. I love you. I love you. Jeff is such an amazing comedian.
I have had enough females ask me after Jeff has taught the class if he's single. We'll just leave it at that. But sorry, nobody.
You're being
has asked that.
extremely sexist right now, and I don't really appreciate
wait,
that right now.
Now you know.
You mean you're
Now
sad
you
that
know,
the men
Jeff.
have?
Oh wait, I gotta get this one in. But nobody's asked about Casper. Sorry, Casper.
This podcast is turning extremely sexist, and I just want the crowd to know that Bam Bam's point of view is that we men should not be treated like pieces of meat,
I agree.
pieces of well
Christine,
hung,
stop it.
well aged ribeyes that are just
I want everyone.
sitting in the dry age cabinet, just
We're not like
waiting.
that.
I want everyone to know that everybody at this table is drinking alcohol except for me, and I'm still crazier.
So
But
that
you would think it would choose
that-
a different reaction.
Let's be careful so we don't get canceled.
Oh.
So the academy
Oh.
doesn't get canceled.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be.
you don't have to be
professional.
worried about that because that old cancel thing is over. Doesn't exist anymore.
Trump won. Oh.
Because everybody should know out there that what this is about jokes. We're all very empathetic and loving people that
Yeah.
care about
And
people.
we love both Jeff and Casper.
And we
Yeah.
love
Yes,
both
and
Jeff,
Casper, we
Casper,
love you
and
too.
Nick, and
Nick.
everybody
Christine
else.
loves Nick especially.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what we're doing now is we're making jokes.
Yes.
And we're making fun of stuff. Sometimes it will be off cuff, it will be inappropriate, but basically we do not think that things like of that nature should be done.
It's
This is
comedy.
jokes, it's comedy.
Exactly.
So fucking get over it out there.
Yeah.
Get a life. And if you don't like it, turn it off and go choke yourself. There we go. So now that was the disclaimer. Now you can say anything you want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See? Don't worry about all that.
I
I
can
get
breathe now.
I'm so old at the point where I look at when people go like, "You can't say that." I go, "Why?" Because you might offend someone. Why? Did it hurt them? Yes, it hurt their feelings. It hurt their feelings? I get my feelings hurt every time I get in my car.
That's short, huh?
Yeah.
But we do.
Because I drive really nicely and I let everybody in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But we do have guest speak. We have guest
Yes.
comedians come to the class, and it's great because we really take the experience of the class up a notch when a guest comedian comes.
of course, that gives so much nuance and so much color, and it gives the aspiring comedians a chance to see the entire palette, or if you
Yeah.
may, in Danish it's called the palette, the
Yeah.
one where you paint. Is that
Yeah,
called a
exactly,
palette?
Yes.
Yeah. And you get to see all the different. So young comedians go, I like that style.
Yeah.
And they can kind of get inspired by that.
Exactly.
Luckily for a lot of young people today, YouTube is such a great inspiration to go find a comedian that no one has ever heard about. And there might be 3 videos of this Azerbaijan comedian,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he's fucking funny. I mean, I actually had Evan on the podcast, he's a Tatar. Does anybody know?
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
he's a Russian Ukrainian Tatar.
Yeah.
And I always call him like my favorite Tatar. And he goes, "Do you know anybody else?" I go, "Fuck you."
Is he really tall?
Yeah, he's tall and he's very short haired. Got the crew cut, and he is so talented. And he has that really what's the style of comedy where you keep it really low and you just deadpan kind?
Deadpan, yeah.
Yeah, he's just really mellow, and his comedy is so good. It's like Ulek. You know Ulek?
Ulek Bek?
He's from Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in Uzbekistan,
He
and,
was
and
in the
he
class.
is so deadpan too, and he's
Yeah,
And-
he was in
yeah.
the very
The
first
class, yeah.
he is so good.
Yeah.
When you see him today, he just kills it.
He did the class twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess killing it from being Uzbekistan, genocide kind of really I was waiting for that one. I needed to release that,
Yes.
If I
Yeah.
can
Let's
just
just go ahead and release.
Just
all
get
of
it all out.
Everything.
Yes.
Middle Eastern related, Stan related. Just get it out.
Yeah, exactly. All the stands.
But like, if I can just like provide a little bit of
she's-
insight at how it looked, when we had both Casper and Jeff. So Casper is very talented when it comes to like writing punchlines and writing
Very,
jokes
very,
and
very
everything.
much.
So like I could just see like when he read the material, he actually provided a lot of like very 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 successful punchlines, where we were pretty much stuck. And that was actually really useful for us, to kind of have another person's opinion. We kept some of them, we changed some of them, but like he pushes you to think of your joke a little bit differently. And I've actually seen a lot of the people in the class find their voice after the teachings, after that class with Casper. And then we had our class with Jeff, and then we were performing, and he was looking at our performance, but he also touched base on the material. He also provided a lot of additional context to kind of help us find, to get like a full circle of the entire set so that the set is actually much, much better. So,
But yeah, and, the set, but also your delivery and the whole theatrical aspect of doing stand-up.
Of course. It makes sense.
So, inventing a persona, how does this persona talk, walk? Those are the things that we really developed when Jeff was around. And yeah, and Casper also is good at structure.
Yeah.
How to structure a joke.
Makes sense.
What
Makes
should come first and what should come in the middle, etc., etc. So
and what is necessary
also-
and what is not necessary, what
Exactly.
is fill and
Yeah.
what is I can actually see that.
also Christine's
student,
right?
Yeah, Casper was also a student.
Yeah.
Casper.
But Casper, hold on.
Oh, wow.
Casper came fully formed. What happened was Casper had gone.
Apparently not.
No,
Sorry, Casper. Shit. I couldn't. I had to do that one. God damn it.
No, I'm pretty
Fucking
sure that
Tourette's.
Casper took another comedy class before. He had some stand-up training
Yeah.
before, and then Casper took my class and met Nick. Right, Nick is my husband, and Casper and Nick became really good friends, and they just really bonded and formed a great partnership, which led to the creation of Knocked Out Comedy Club.
You have everything here. I bet you didn't even know how it all started.
I was gonna offer my services to come and help and do guest things, but man, you guys have a heavy lineup.
No, but you should come.
I could just come and say, "Hi, I'm here to teach you all how to look pretty."
But you should come.
I would love to. I would love to come and see it and help
absolutely.
out. And
Yeah.
I do both Danish and English. The Danish is just starting, but Casper is, and we make fun of Casper. We've made fun of Casper, but Casper is such a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
And whenever I see Casper, he just murders.
Yeah.
And we
Buy Casper tickets, people.
yes, And Nick too. I mean, Nick, he just goes up there, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, now this awkward dude is coming up, and he's going to do a bit of heavy breathing, and then he just murders." He just knows exactly which buttons to touch. And this one of those things where when you see a comedian that goes up where it seems natural, that is so amazing. That's what I thrive to do. I just kind of go up and just talk about race stuff because I'm racially ambiguous. Because people normally just like, where are you from? Your name's Yan? Because that's my real name, Yan Nilsson. And they're like, you're not a Yan. Yeah, I've got the Mongolian. I got the Filipino. I even got the Greenlandish one too, which is basically almost American. No. That'll never happen.
So when are you coming to the academy?
Well, you just Maya and whatever. You just give me a date and a time, and I'll come and help out and hold.
Your girl, she's gonna
totally.
set you
We
up,
like
and
that.
why
I
not?
can do the. I can come and.
This is lovely. Thank you.
We can do the inappropriate stuff and stuff like that. I do a lot of like on my own because I grew up in Nigeria and Saudi Arabia, and there's so much good cultural misunderstandings that are fun. You know that.
Yep.
I mean, we all know that because we come from so many different cultures. Americans, where everybody's like, "Oh, where are you from?" And you're like, "You're from." It was Bosnian, right? Serbia. Don't mix those up. Don't mix those
I
up.
was born in Bosnia.
Okay,
And
yeah.
my parents are Croatian Serbs, so
And-
like I have 3 citizenships.
Exactly.
I truly do.
So people will be like, "Oh, right, Slivovitz and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Oh, have you Game of Thrones and all this stuff?"
I'm
and
the
then
one who's always carrying alcohol to our practices.
yeah, and then like the
That is not guaranteed. I just want to say. Alcohol in the practices is not guaranteed. It's only when the Serbian is there.
well, already we friend. And like when people talk about Iran and stuff like that, oh yeah, great, and then talk about the history and stuff like that, and then Los Angeles and like, oh wow, school shootings, huh? Yay! Yeah,
No, like,
I was waiting for that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I know.
There was
I
a big
know.
build up on that one. I just had to get it out.
I know, but I'm happy to see that I'm not the person who has different races, because I have struggled all my life in terms of, oh, where you're from. So you're this, you're that, and especially if you're already multicultural
Yeah,
and you're born and raised here in Denmark, and then I have like 3-4 cultures that I need to somehow fit in a box.
exactly.
And how does that fit in a box when it comes to comedy? And
It fits so amazingly in that
Yeah.
box because you have so much more depth when you have a different culture or mixed cultures because you have this it's just this huge funnel that you can reach into and pull out, and if you have like a pure white bread boy, he doesn't have the depth that he can reach into within the culture.
I mean,
that's
kind of harsh. I'm kind of offended. I'm so sorry. I have to stand up for myself. But no, I don't think that's right.
She's also part Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the
You're
thing is-
part in
No.
no, I think it's Native American.
Native-
Native American. But the,
Quarter
Oh, let me
Native
guess,
American.
Cherokee.
no. But anyways, but no. I mean, one thing that everybody everybody has a soul. Here's something that I actually tell people.
Except
It's a
redheaded
beautiful-
people.
Okay. Actually, I was making redheaded jokes to a redhead the other day, and I should really stop doing that. But anyways, no.
It's okay
Truth
unless they
is-
have cancer.
Truth is
Then they don't have red hair.
truth is beauty, or beauty is truth as filtered through the human soul. This is actually something I say in the class. Beauty is truth as filtered through the human soul. Every soul is a prism, and light goes through that prism, and it comes out the prism in all these different colors.
But ugly is funnier.
Yeah. But everybody
Shit.
takes in the world, and then they show us what they see, and that is a unique vision. That's a unique picture that they create. And every single person has that. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's something to be celebrated and loved. And one thing that I try, and that's also what I do at the class that is important to me, is making people happy. Because when you make other people happy, you also make yourself happy. And that feedback loop that's created between you and the audience is one of the most beautiful things.
Yeah.
I actually don't do stand up, but I have done theater, I have done comedy, I have done sketch comedy. And I can tell you once I had a moment on stage that was transcendent where I connected with the audience on a deeper level, and it was amazing. And you know, you really have to drop your shit and be vulnerable and just listen. This relationship with the audience is so powerful and it's a beautiful thing, and I want people to be happy. I also have to say that I'm very mindful when I put students up on stage. I do two things. I want a student to look the best they can look in their set. I don't want them to, okay, I'm going to say something really bad, but it has to be said. We have a lot of men who come to the class who tell us the same thing. I had sex with a girl. I had sex with a girl. And I have so many sets that start with, I had sex with a girl. And the very first thing I do as the teacher is I'm like, nope, we're going to tamp that down because we're going to put you on stage. We're going to put you in the best light. We're going to make you look good. We're going to work on this set that you look great. Every girl in that room is going to think you're great. No creepy men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No creepiness.
Well, that's actually a really good point, what you
Yeah.
just brought up there, because I was just thinking of that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, you can make that funny.
Oh, yeah, you can.
No, wait. Hear me out.
You're a beginner.
Hear me
right?
out. Hear me out. If he changes it up and going, actually, a girl actually wanted to have sex with me last night.
Yeah.
And then already there you've removed that misogynistic
Yeah.
view on that, and you've actually made it self-deprecating.
Yes.
And self-deprecating comedy is pretty much some of the easiest stuff to do
Yes.
because you're removing
Exactly.
all weaponry of yourself,
Yes.
and you're exposing yourself to the. Oh, that sounded so bad. You're showing vulnerability to the crowd.
To quote Christine, she sometimes really doesn't allow us to go into common places. So, like, for example, if she says, like, all the expats have the same thing about, like, work environment against expats
Oh.
versus Danes, etc., you can see, like,
Oh my
when
God, I
we
wanna
go
kill
there,
myself.
she literally reacts this way. And then we learn how to avoid the most common, I think, like, the most commonplace
Pitfalls. The
Yeah.
pitfalls
the most
that you.
commonplace jokes
Yeah.
that the
Because-
expats can make.
Because
Yeah.
let's be completely honest. I'm going to say it. Some people come and they want to talk or they want to express their mental illness on stage. And the thing is that I say no to that. And I tap that shit down real fast. And the reason why is because it doesn't make anyone happy. And then you create a negative feedback loop between the person and the audience. And the person actually has their negative mentality reinforced and leads to bigger mental problems in the end. And that is why making the audience leads to this positive feedback loop where everybody grows and grows and grows upwards and upwards, and everybody bonds, and it becomes something transcendent. Really, it really does.
I'll agree and disagree on that
Yeah.
because if you're very well versed on your, let's call it autism,
Yeah.
and you can make it into something funny.
Yes, we do that.
Where you're doing, but then I think that taking your mental challenge
Yeah.
as to make it something great. Have you seen this very attractive redheaded woman with glasses in a wheelchair on Kill Tony? Where she has this chronic disorder where she's slowly deteriorating, and
Yeah.
her speech is also taken, and,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's an attractive woman,
Yeah.
and she says stuff like the worst thing about being in this wheelchair, and she's sitting there and she's clearly affected, and she says that you can't see how nice my ass is, and that's actually taking her handicap, or if you may, her challenge, and then to make it something funny.
Yeah.
And there I will agree and disagree
yeah.
that if
Yeah,
you
it's
can
not
make
the
it
same
something
thing.
positive, if you can make it
Yeah.
positive.
Well, we have like Jonathan, who probably won't mind being mentioned. He has a great set on ADHD, or this is Jonathan's joke. This is Jonathan's joke. I really need to say it. He's like, hate ADHD, you know?
Yeah.
Like
High
oh my-
definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
I
just-
love it. Yeah.
just like you said, if you have this, if you're really aware of whatever
disorder.
Disorder. You
That's a
have
bad word to use. Challenge, I would say.
challenge,
Yeah.
disorder, condition. Then you can really use it to create awareness of
Of
that said
course. Of
disorder.
course. Yeah.
Because we have, I think her name is Maria Bedford, Maria Bamford, who is actually bipolar,
Yeah.
and she's created this whole persona
Yeah.
out of being this mentally unstable woman,
Mm.
which is hilarious to watch.
Mhm.
And she was off the scene for a few years because she had to go to treatment. She had to go to the hospital,
Yeah.
and then she came back and then created this persona, which is very interesting, but
It's
also
heartfelt too.
heartfelt, and it feels authentic.
Yeah.
But still, you can. I mean, if you really know it well and somehow you're able to own it,
Yeah.
that's when it becomes quite interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think what Christine does here is that, like, the difference here is skill. Because when you're a newbie comedian and when you have this thing that you want to probably make funny, she will not allow you to come on stage and for that not to be funny. She will find some funny things that are happening with whatever it is that you want to make a part of your comedic personality, and you write jokes about that.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously that person that sat in the wheelchair that says you can't see my ass, like, like, it probably came across her mind, but that shit is really funny.
Yeah, and it's real.
Exactly. But
It's-
there are
it's-
other things that probably are related to her condition that are not, and
Exactly.
that could actually inspire the exact negativity that Christine was referring to.
I think that when you're doing that, and I also think it's what message you want to bring out with your challenge. Is it supposed to be self-deprecating? Are you spreading awareness? Or are you just trying to get a cheap laugh? And cheap laughs are always easy to come by. You can always grab something. You can always punch down, if you may. But the ones that I see that have the challenges, I think they really are, but these are also established comedians. They seem to do it very well and actually spread awareness, make people laugh, and actually be a bit self-deprecating, but without it being really pathetic.
Yeah.
And I love to watch those comedians, and I think the joke always goes that all good stand-up comedians are broken or have disorders in some order or fashion.
Last night when we had our showcase, so, like, there was the new class of comedians and some of us from the old class also performed as well. We had a host who was not part of our normal routine. His name is Div, and he actually commented that, like, oh my god, like, the first time I did stand-up comedy, like, very few people laughed. Like, you guys got people to laugh. And the thing is that, like, you really go through the material and you really find the punchline. You have, like, amazing teachers to go through it with you to kind of find everything, and then it's super easy to go on stage and just be funny
Yeah.
because you have all this support.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, like, like, as you said, like, some comedians who really do have that timeline that you go on stage and you get zero laughs because you haven't found out what's funny yet. Exactly what
You're
you were
working
referring
on your
to.
bits. What Dave was it? What Dave was it?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
No, but what you said it was a comedian called Dave.
No,
Div.
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 Oh, Div!
Yeah,
I
he's Indian.
love
Yeah,
Div.
yeah.
I've been on stage with Div a
Yes,
lot of
yeah.
times, man. Div and me, oh man,
He volunteered to be our host.
he's
and,
sick.
Oh yeah, he's great. He was great.
Get it?
volunteered to be our host.
You didn't catch that one,
Wait,
did you?
I
Oh,
didn't
he's
got
sick.
it.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
He's totally sick, man. It's so sick.
I
Div,
just-
you were so sick,
Oh my
man.
God, I didn't realize that as well.
Yeah.
Except
I
you.
think that
Yeah.
needed an act out.
Yeah.
Multicultural.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
Awesome, Sadi. Yeah.
I just wanted to add, Christina is talking about, bringing happiness,
Yeah.
bringing happiness to the crowd. So that's the main, that's really the thing that drives us when we meet up and go through our material. But it's also very important to mention that throughout this process, we also become happier.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's I mean 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours.
Yeah.
You come with your material, and then we go through it, and then we just really help each other out with our material. We write jokes for each other as well because we are this close knit, tiny community, or eventually
Yeah.
becomes a close knit group of friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we just laugh.
Yeah.
And we just take the shit out.
Yeah.
Perks of a comedy class,
And we even, do jokes on each other.
Yeah.
Because we want to be self-deprecating.
Yeah.
And that's also a mission. So besides
Yeah.
bringing happiness to the crowd,
Yeah.
yes, we want to, really, really take the shit out
Yeah.
on ourselves.
Life is short. Life is
is
hard.
short. Life is hard.
Be happy.
And be happy. And in that process, we become happy.
Yeah, exactly.
And come on, let's be honest. When you find out a bit works,
Yeah.
it feels so
It's so good.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yes.
oh, I got it. I finally, I cracked that code.
Yeah.
I had this thought, and this is where all the ADHD people will be like, this thought is just running around like two badgers that are horny and have rabies, and you're like, it just doesn't fit. And suddenly, someone just went in and says, hey, just remove that bit. And then it just falls to place. And when that happens and you get to use it in a crowd sense, it feels so good. They're happy, you're happy.
Exactly.
So yeah, I was a bit skeptical on going along with all this happy. I'm thinking someone's on benzos right now.
But you get it, right?
But right
We
now,
are on benzos.
that's a very
We're not,
dangerous
but I
thing,
do
by
have
the
them
way.
at home.
If not, I mean, if you're kind of used to it and have a high tolerance level.
For benzos, I prefer mushrooms.
Oh my.
Portobellos are my favorite. What were you guys talking about?
Oh, no.
Wait, what? Am I not in the loop anymore?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Very good beer. Love the pineapple beer.
Oh yeah, and just before we go on, this podcast today is sponsored by Christiania Bryghus. Come by Christiania at Mælkevejen to go sample their amazing beers. We're actually drinking the Legalize It, which is a New England IPA made with connection with Fafa. And you girls are having the Pineapple Express, which is a lovely New England IPA too, very fruity. And thank you, Christiania Bryghus, for the beer.
Thank you, Christiania.
And also shout out to Christiania Comedy, who hasn't invited me in to do more sets.
Oh, can I brag?
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
I brag? I get to
Now's
brag.
your time to brag, Christine.
One of my students had 10 minutes at Christiania Comedy Club last week, and he was great. And
He wa-
Killed it.
he killed it. First time, like first or second time up. Like guys, we're taking in 6 to 8 weeks, we're taking people who have never done comedy before and turning them into intermediate level stand-ups who are booking 10-minute sets and killing. Thank you.
That's
Thank
cool.
you.
Very true.
Shout out. What was his name?
Moeen?
Moeen.
Yeah.
Moeen.
Mu'in.
Moeen. Oh.
It's an Iranian name, so that's why she pronounced it better.
Well, shout out to Moeen and congratulations on 10 minutes at
Yes,
Christiania.
yes.
That is fucking bitchin', man.
Yes.
Awesome. Christiania Comedy Club is an amazing comedy club. The crowds are always so appreciative.
Yeah.
I wonder why they laugh so much.
That's a good bit.
Must be the water. Must be the water.
I'm going to share something random.
Yes.
When I drink, I become paranoid and very, very quiet. And when I don't drink, I'm super outgoing. There you go.
But that's because you're on benzos, right?
Oh, no. Maybe.
No, that was you guys. Shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
maybe you should stop taking your ADHD medication because it seems like you're a whole lot more fun now.
Yeah.
Christine, you are like a jack in the box. I love it. I love the energy in this podcast.
I'm a lead laugher. And so that's also another reason why I'm a good teacher for the class is because I laugh at everything.
Yes, but Christine, you have your evil
Oh,
laugh.
yeah.
Evil laughter.
Bring it on. We had a Copenhagen Comedy Academy Christmas party, and
Okay.
we played Exploding Kittens, and I won,
Ooh.
and everyone else exploded, and I knew it. I knew I was gonna win.
And your evil laugh
Here's-
was?
Sorry.
Right? You can just cut it out and use it.
Sorry.
That gave me a slight bit of anxiety there. That was even better, that one, too.
Yeah.
No, but you see a point. Like we had our Christmas party, like we had a Julefrokost where we like ate stuff and we played exploding kittens.
And I made
Like-
them homemade chicken soup with homemade chicken broth.
Okay.
See?
Killing font.
Isn't
Killing
this
font.
the best class ever?
I'll give you your next one to do.
Yes.
You want to know where I got these kittens? Yeah, there was a man who said to me, these kittens. Yeah.
You can do the Joker one. You can easily do that one.
So that's also why I teach the classes, because I'm like the crazy laughter one.
Yeah, and you know what? Those are the people that we all love at
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
As soon as a good comedian will find that person that just is laughter
That's
ready.
what Christine said.
Exactly.
And once you get that person, it bleeds out like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
respiratory pandemic that we will not mention.
Yeah.
And that will just bleed into the crowd, and everybody will just get that happy feeling.
Exactly.
It's smiting.
Yeah. And so that's why I go to shows and I sit in the corner and I actually like be my lead laughter self so that to support the students.
Oh, Odin, bless you.
Yeah. So I'm always there for them.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love doing that too. Whenever I'm performing, I don't really go out because of the kids and stuff like that when I'm not performing. But when I do, I make sure that when the comedians are up there and they just say something remotely funny, it'll just tickle me in some weird way, because you're getting there, and a lot of people come to comedy places and they're like, okay, make me laugh. But then there are a lot of people that come there and going, oh, I'm so ready to laugh. And those people are the great people to be in the to have in that crowd, because they're just like, oh, he's gonna say something funny right now. I just know it, And then they say something, and this person just erupts, and there is no better feeling.
Yeah.
And again, that's the whole thing about spreading happiness, and it's contagious.
You're a convert now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I am a comedian, and I want people to laugh. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not like I'm pulling out a gun and forcing them to laugh,
But now you believe in this happiness talk.
Shiny, happy people.
Yes, I actually,
shiny, happy.
Jonathan did
Not
tell me-
related to the brewery.
Okay, so Jonathan was actually saying, Jonathan is one of the students. He performed yesterday, and he did a bit about ducks, right? And
About
it's
ducks?
about ducks, guys, about ducks, and it's like it's fun and it's cute and it's adorable, and I know it sounds lame and it's not edgy, but it's fun. It's so
was
much fun to just be cute and adorable and to waddle like a duck, and he was robbing people as a duck, and it was very fun. it was adorable, and everybody was laughing.
Do you know that many female ducks in Denmark, they perish due to mass gang rapes by the male maldricks?
Well, that is depressing. Thank you, Bam Bam.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You.
And because that
Thanks for lowering this
male
podcast.
duck penises are extremely long and they're spirally cord, so the female is usually torn to bits after a mating session.
Well, this has turned.
But hey, duck meat tastes so
Biology.
good. Duck meat tastes so
Let's
good.
talk about cat sex.
No, they just hold on to each other. They mate for life, not necessarily voluntarily.
Both me and Saudi are very visibly uncomfortable right now.
That was the plot twist I
That's
had.
because that the male cat penis has what do you call
hook.
them?
Yeah,
They
has a
have
hook.
hooks on them,
Yeah.
and they.
That's what we're gonna talk about.
That's because that the female cat actually.
I have no expertise in male cat penises.
I need more benzos.
You need more benzos. So, Big Pharma out there, you want to sponsor Bam Bam's show? Let's get some benzos.
Yeah, last night we had some people working in
In Big
Novo
Pharma?
Nordisk.
Oh, Zempic. Oh,
Half the
yeah.
audience was working
On Ozempic?
I'm not, yeah.
What? So so
And they
you're
couldn't
you're
get
saying
it.
it was a big crowd?
No, no discounts regardless.
No,
No.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna humble brag in Christine's name, but like we had 2 showcases so far,
Okay.
both sold out.
Yeah.
And the first showcase we had to even like push people out because they didn't have a ticket. And Nick
Oh.
said, Knock Knock Club is at its capacity.
Okay.
Yeah,
like we cannot afford to like house 5 more people,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like we had
It
to
makes
turn
sense.
everyone
Fire
into
hazard. Fire
Yeah,
hazard. Yeah.
exactly.
And you know what? You have to
completely sold out shows.
you have to respect that. And you know what's weird about at Knock Knock?
Yeah.
When you see people filming the videos of Knock Knock, you're thinking this club is like huge. And then you get there and you're like Americans seeing the Little Mermaid for the first time. She's really small. A Knock Knock just is. It looks so big
Yeah, yeah.
on camera, but when
Yeah.
you get in there, it's actually not very big, and it's a great place.
It's an intimate place.
I love it.
But how big is the Christiania comedy
Oh,
club?
Christiania is it's
How many
bigger.
people?
Oh, probably 100. Yeah.
Okay,
but-
that's our next milestone.
But it's narrow.
Right?
It's narrow and broad, and the stage is wide,
Okay.
and there's like a grand piano over in the corner.
It's actually a really beautiful stage.
I actually almost want to go over there and just start going Elton, or not Elton John. What's his name? Piano Man. Oh God, what's his name now? Never mind.
Okay, so Christine, that's your next step for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, totally.
To get us like a show, because like we really love performing
And
together.
get Bam Bam on that stage as well.
Yes.
No, I just have to be
Would
nice.
you do
I
it?
have to be nicer to Milo from Christiania too, but of course I would. I'll help out if any way I can.
Is Milo by any chance Serbian?
Could be.
I think you've gotten in.
He's a really nice dude, and I did once. I just think that when you go in and like on the and he just rotates really well. So maybe at one point I'll get. So I killed it last time, man. That was cool. I did a lot of I did a lot of crowd work and stuff like that. It's just one of those great places where you really feel appreciated, and of course you guys should get a hold of Milo and Christiania Comedy Club and actually ask for a showcase there because it would work, and we could
Let's
actually
do that.
probably
That's actually such a great idea.
and we could coordinate with Christiania Boykoos if need be and stuff like that, and get a lot of.
We're ready to wear your sweatshirts.
They're actually quite
I-
cool.
I'm
I
actually-
saw them. I want one. I seriously want
We
one.
want them.
I'm actually offended by that as a male
Why?
because women steal male hoodies all the time.
Because they're nicer.
We run out of hoodies faster than we
Yeah.
can buy them because of you.
I know we steal your hoodies.
Yes.
You stole our rights for centuries.
Oh my gosh, that was upping that one. we upped that.
Whoa.
It's a small price to pay. Give us the hoodie.
So, I mean,
And yet Saudi still can't make a goddamn sandwich.
and how would you know that?
Because I make better sandwiches than probably anybody in the known universe.
But yeah,
Marvel Universe 2, Expanded, MCU, and Star Wars.
yes, but I'm Middle Eastern.
So your sandwich blows up?
She can make. Okay,
Saudi. Saudi.
that was great.
What? She just talked about her Allah Wakba sandwich.
Did you add
I
curry
wanted
to
to
the
say
mayonnaise?
hummus, but it's a Hamas sandwich.
Ah, that was a good one too. Oh my God. See, this is what happens when you build on a joke. You keep building, you keep building, you keep building. We took a premise and we just
Yes.
erupted from that. That is so, that is, you know what?
You've basically seen our class.
This is what happens at our class.
Good work.
I've done
Good work. Good work. You have you can tell your Padawans that they have done well. This is your creation.
Yes.
You can be like that very beautiful lady in The Wizard of Oz. Fly, my pretties, fly.
She has the laugh for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And no one really saw the other end of the camera where those monkeys with wings just fell to their death. And then Peter was like, "Oh God, now we have to go against the Wizard of Oz." Goddamn monkeys.
I cried in the last scene of Wicked movie.
Wicked.
I have not streamed the Wicked the movie.
Wicked. What is Wicked?
Gravity. The song Gravity made my tears.
Gravity.
It made tears well up in my eyes.
Oh.
And I hate musicals, guys.
And you know, that's the thing, because
Then what Joker? It's a musical apparently.
a lot of people have cried because of that song.
oh my
And it's
God.
it's a whole genre on YouTube commentaries
Yeah.
where people go through why they cried.
Like
It's not Gravity with John Mayer, is it?
no. It's the song Gravity in Wicked. I started.
What is
crying.
Wicked?
The movie that's out
It's
with
a new
Ariana
witches
Grande.
movie with Ariana Grande and
Yeah.
the black girl with the nose ring.
Yeah, like
I
it
forgot
was.
the name.
I
Oh,
lost
yeah, I was-
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
I was busy
There you
watching
go.
Black Hawk Down for the 10th
Yeah.
time.
I just feel like I also bring up a lot of random shit. That's also what I do, but that's also good for the class because then I can reset people when they start going too crazy.
Nah.
What movie you would watch, Bam Bam?
No, I mean I have
was good,
I have an
guys.
8-year-old and a
I-
20-year-old, so most likely I'll be forced to watch that one at one point.
Then
you Yeah.
know you're
Promoting.
gonna cry.
Yeah, I'm promoting something other than my
Now
class.
you know.
Stop it.
I cry.
What happened?
My girlfriend got me to watch The Notebook, and I was thinking before because I listened to all other males that would talk about The Notebook's such a fucking girls movie. I watched The Notebook, and I didn't weep. I bawled my eyes out, and I just
Shout
said,
out to Renata.
and I said to Renata, that is one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen. And I was like, okay, you're allowed to choose all the movies from now on. And she chose some really, and we even saw A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And God damn it, same thing happened. So
Do you know that we recently kind of toyed around with the ideas to kind of watch like funny movies because we're like such a big community of expats.
yeah,
So like funny movies from each other's countries, and it actually came from
a Serbian movie.
It came from a condom joke
Yes, we had a
from
lot
a
of
Serbian
condom
movie.
jokes on Saturday.
Because Serbians will know there's this Serbian movie called Tri palme za dve bitange i ribicu. And there is a scene where they present Belgrade under sanctions, and there's a guy washing condoms and drying them out. And I thought that was super funny. And then we used it in one of people's jokes, and that's why we realized that we could do a movie night.
No, I was thinking of the movie called A Serbian Movie.
Yeah, forget about that one. that's the most insane
Sadi, you have
shit
to
we've
see that
ever
movie.
seen.
It's so
No, you
it's
do
so
not.
heartfelt,
Please don't.
and it'll
Please
make you
don't.
cry. It's such an amazing.
It's a
love story.
It's a horror movie.
Oh, I love horror movies.
You don't want to watch this one. Like I don't know why they called it the Serbian movie. Like I honestly don't know.
It's the biggest feel bad movie in the world. It'll leave you. It will leave you in complete and utter disgust.
Well, I'm already in that state. So.
No, Sadi, you're not. You're not. You're
No,
not. You're not.
there's
This
levels
is-
to this.
This is the movie. I've never watched it.
Have
I've
you seen?
heard it.
Have you seen a Cannibal Holocaust yet?
No.
Okay, if you haven't seen that one, then watch Serbian movie first. Cannibal Holocaust is one of those movies where, when they got done filming the movie, the FBI contacted the production company and asked for all the actors if they were all alive and could be accounted for. That's how good or bad or realistic that movie is.
Oh my God! I'm reading about the Serbian.
I don't want to.
No, please.
I don't.
No, no,
Look,
no, no, no,
look,
no, no,
look,
no,
no,
no.
We
no,
have
no,
better
no, no,
movies,
no.
and that's why I
not
want
the
to.
Let's
kind of
talk
horror
about
I
happiness.
watch. I watch horror movies with ghosts.
I'd rather,
That possess
you know,
people.
that movie. I'd rather watch.
Vampires.
Okay.
No,
there is
vampires are
only one good
fucking
horror
gay.
movie.
Wait,
They're
wait,
so
guys.
gay,
Guys, there's only one.
and I mean that in the non, whatever way.
Teenagers
I don't
having
know.
a party. Teenagers having a party and all getting killed. That is the only horror movie worth watching.
And you know what? No, I actually.
a very
you know what?
American
I'm
horror
actually
movie.
very offended by that because the stereotypes is that the bimbo who is stereotyped to being the dumb one and in the cheerleader squad with the biggest
Tits.
blue eyes.
Oh.
My God, woman, could you at least treat women with a bit of
No.
dignity? And she's the one that she may go on to go to law school, but she's the one who says, "Is everybody gone now? And the lights are out. I'm gonna go take a shower," and she gets killed.
Yeah.
And see, that's
I
sad.
have a story.
I just got brushed off for my masculine femininity on that one. I really, I'm-
She's American.
my
She-
feelings were hurt.
She's
and
American.
you know what you should do about
she did
that?
not assign a gender
Nothing
to you.
whatsoever.
when I was
She
in,
didn't assign a gender to you. She's American.
when I was in 8th grade.
I don't want a gender. I'm old. That's my gender. I identify with ow, my knees hurt. Ow, my back hurts. Ow, ow.
When I was in 8th grade, I had a party for all of my girlfriends, and I rented Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2. And,
Just listen to the title of the movie. Slumber Party Massacre.
People over for a
One-
sleepover, and then I rented Slumber Party Massacre.
Sadi, this summer, Slumber Party 1.
And Slumber Party Massacre.
I need something stronger than the beer.
And it was so sad because I baked brownies.
Like this.
And everybody left.
That's a very Serbian way.
Saudi.
So, what did you learn from that experience,
I
Christine?
have really bad taste in movies.
Well, I mean, when it comes to horror movies, I think Sadi, you said you like horror movies and stuff like that. There's a balance with horror movies. You can go into the extreme B, and you can go into what's his name, the one with the chainsaw in the hand, Bruce Campbell, Army Evil Dead, where you're kind of going into the extreme comic stuff. Or you can go into Poltergeist and the more of the seriousness of horror, where the more you go over, and then you have the slasher genre with Scream and the where it kind of goes in and balances on what's corny and what's not.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to feel that area, because if you're going to go into Slumber Party Massacre, then you're clearly over into B.
Yeah.
And the people who like those movies are the plus 40s that are thinking like, you have to really look into that movie and actually see how the corniness becomes an art
No, it was
form.
just the
You know what I
naked
mean?
shower scenes.
Of course. I mean, who doesn't like naked shower scenes?
Sorry.
With blood?
No, because
With blood.
sorry.
And yeah. No. But no, you actually bring a really great comedic point to this, where that you're actually taking something that is horrifying and disgusting and anxiety stricken, and you're actually turning it into something funny. And when you make those really corny horror movies where you actually look at them, you're like, when I was 6, I was terrified of this. But now that I'm of age, it's like, my God, this is so corny, that you actually can find yourself enjoy watching this corniness. And Scream did that by taking out all John Carpenter's and what's the other one named? Crane. Oh, what's his name? The one who did Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Where you're taking all this classic where he says, the virgin dies first. The person of color also dies. Oh, what's a bit? Oh. And then there's the bimbo that goes, why is the power out? Why is everybody gone? I'll go up, take a shower. It's like, oh, God, you're going to die first. And
Because she needs to be naked in a shower.
yes, because naked shower scenes are apparently necessary in those kinds of movies.
It was a group. Sorry, this is so bad.
Was it a group shower scene?
It was all the high school girls in a group.
I don't think this was a horror movie. I think this is what you call a sorority movie.
I never had a party at my house again.
I wonder why.
Christine, did your town priest come and visit you after that?
No.
But she moved to Denmark closely after.
Did he try to exorcise the lesbian demons from you? Christine, you have been saved. If you're not sure, I do accents in my comedy too.
Oh,
You should hear my Arab accent. It's very good. Alhamdulillah.
yes, we love sound effects. We have a whole
They're really
thing.
good.
We have a whole thing on sound effects.
Mashallah, my Persian is really terrible though. Maybe you can help me on that one.
We have a whole thing on sound effects in the class.
Yep.
I really encourage people to do sound effects. That's one of the reasons why I start them with microphone technique, like on the first minute of the class, because sound effects just take it up to a whole new level.
Yeah. There's actually one of the things that actually, when Ira brought me on the stage first time, people were asking why I cup my mic like this.
Yeah.
That's because I'm an old metal singer. And we would do that and get nuance from holding and putting down and getting it all the way up so you can get that real, sounding like that you had Taco Bell 2 days in a row and you didn't get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds. But again, one of the things that I love to do is to do the and actually of your course is microphone technique, and it's about reading the room, also about volume.
Yeah.
And if many rooms have terrible PAs, we all know that.
Mhm.
You can never put your complete trust into a PA. You have to be the comedian to go around the room and see where sound is good, where sound is not. Is the microphone too loud? Is it too low? Too low, you can always bring up. If it's too loud, you know you're bringing that up, something's going to feed, something's going to sing, and that ruins everybody's day.
Yeah, yeah.
So the whole thing about microphone control is one of those things where I see more comics now that aren't understanding the volume and the feed
Yeah.
and the sound of the room.
So again, when are you coming?
Yeah, come to class.
Are you free next Saturday?
Next Saturday?
Not this one. We agreed to have a break to have brunches.
Yeah, we're having brunch
So not the
Saturday.
upcoming,
I have my.
but the week after.
I think I have my
We'll
daughter.
figure it out offline.
But you know what? Send me dates, and of course I'll come.
Thank
No
you.
doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. I would love to support this program. I mean,
Right? It's such a positive thing. And the one thing that I've realized, like after doing this class, because I personally did it just for fun, I actually never thought that I would be just like on the stage writing jokes. I just thought it would be a fun thing to do in August. You know, meet some new people, hang around, and that was it. Like I realized, you know, like there's a closed group of people, you know, on Facebook that you can get into and then, you know, like get some spots on open mics.
mhm.
And I actually had no idea, like as a person, as an expat, you know, moving to Copenhagen and not knowing a lot of people, you don't know these intricacies. But it was actually Jeff who was like, "Hey guys, do you know how you wanna perform as comedians? Like there is a process and there's a thing that we can do, etc." So it's like like a very very good starting point for people who are very new to comedy.
Exactly. And it also kind of, because in the old days, comedy was just get out there and do it or don't. And if you, and it's one of those things, it's kind of like stupid comparison, but it's like a Navy SEAL training campaign. 200 go in, 5 come out. You know, 200 guys go in and say, I can do stand-up comedy because I tell jokes to my dad all day. And they get up on stage and people are like, boo, get the fuck off, you're ugly. And then you have the 5 people left and actually have great material
Yeah.
and actually catch people.
Yeah.
And then again, it's one of those things where you could have caught so many people off on an off day.
Yeah,
You could have caught, there's people will say it's not true, but there is such thing as a bad room or a room that is not suitable for you.
yeah.
Everything is personal. Everything is individual. Everything is a fingerprint. If you're like a really big Giga Chad that is like wearing his cap backwards and puts his sunglasses on the backside and wears flip-flops and Bermuda shorts, goes into a room where it's only very highly educated, independent women, he may not do well in that room.
Yeah.
And that's neither his or their fault. You know, it's just a matter of bad luck.
But I have another point to this, and this is the fact that if you're part of a group that meets regularly, you're actually building some consistency. You're actually building discipline.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, of course, we've all heard that discipline is so important in everything we do in life.
Yeah.
But nothing proves it in a better way than meeting up every Saturday or Sunday or whatever day it is in this group, in this circle, and then just work on material.
Yeah.
So you're a group that meet up.
The advanced class, we call it the advanced class, but really
We
it's-
forced Christine to make an advanced class
Yes.
for us
Yes.
because she has like this intro class that's like 6 to 8 weeks, and we loved it so much, and we realized there's so much more to comedy, and we're like, Christine, are there other any techniques that we could like practice together, etc.? So we forced her to kind of make a level 2.
Yeah, and so
Just because we were so into it.
You guys should
I-
actually write a screenplay for a movie.
well, we actually that's a whole nother thing and a whole nother conversation. But I just want to say that I'm also trained in Linklater voice work, and I'm also trained in Meisner acting, and I use Meisner acting principles to help the comedian. Well, I do it for-
Explain Meisner acting
Meisner
first.
acting teaches you to be extremely reactive. You
Want to
read-
do it, Christine, with me?
Oh my gosh, like I like your hair.
I like your hair.
You like my hair?
I like your hair.
You like my hair.
I like your hair.
You like my hair.
I like your hair.
It's about you do this for like a whole year, and then you do this process as a character for another year. It's actually, it seems, it's epic. It's truly epic to learn how to act. You become so reactive,
Yeah.
and it changes everything for acting.
And this is the thing that has helped me the most, because I would just I memorized my stuff, and then I would just say it,
Yeah.
and kind of like over the audience's
Yes.
head,
Yes.
and not really connecting with them.
Yeah.
But after going through a bunch of these exercises,
Right.
I've been more able
Okay, I can.
to
Yeah.
calm down and just connect with the audience in another way, and instead of just talking over them, talking to them.
And I can see what you guys are doing there, because what I'm seeing is that you're putting in the exercise of finally putting your own personality and emotion into the line.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
acting for me, I've only done small theater stuff.
Yeah.
Never really had the interest to do it,
Mhm.
unless it was like awesome action movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and lots of guns.
Yes.
But yeah, I think comedy is even deeper than acting, because you're acting, but you're also acting out of your own soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So you may not be telling the absolute truth
Mhm.
about a sentence.
Yeah.
And there are many comedians. Let's take a great comedian like Tom Segura.
Okay.
Amazing comedian. Not all of his observational is probably true.
Yeah.
He's admitted that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it less funny. He's convincing.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a bit congested there. It's probably that non-talked about pandemic. Nose diarrhea.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. I mean, you guys are fucking awesome.
Thank you.
I was kind of like, okay, well, what's this going to be like? Am I getting like this weird hippie theater troupe coming in and going like, yeah, man, we're like a cult, but we're a bit more disciplined. Yeah.
No, I'm
All
actually-
right.
We meet in circles.
I'm actually.
We sit in circles, and sometimes we'll sacrifice a young virgin. Like, wait, what? What?
No, I actually have an engineering background. So I have a engineering background, and everybody knows that I hate bullshit. I hate bullshit. Can't handle it.
What kind of engineering?
Electrical engineer. So I cannot handle bullshit.
How
So-
can you be funny then?
I'm not. Anyways, but the
She just teaches.
yeah. Woohoo! But the thing is that's why if I use the technique in this class, it's not bullshit. It actually works, and that is something very important to me.
Well,
That's from being an engineer.
what I think that you're bringing to the table, and I was actually, to begin with, very skeptical
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
of your role in that. But I can see now that what you're doing is you're laying down a framework, which is
Yes.
not just it's a solid framework.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's the what do you call it? Up against the building when they're doing the renovations.
Scaffolding?
Scaffolding.
Yes.
You're making the scaffolding. Everybody else puts on everything else that needs to be, and that's why that the scaffolding in most buildings will be the same.
Yeah.
But everything outside makes it different.
Yeah.
And makes it a different personality, a different persona, a different vibe.
Yes.
And so you're providing a foundation and a scaffolding that they can build upon.
Yes.
And I think it's important to note that Christine, with her engineering background, is actually providing a scientific way, actually a scientific method almost for writing jokes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that we're exploring and really building up that foundation. And then let's see where this journey will take us.
And there's probably an algorithm for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you can dive into that, and there's probably an algorithm to all punchlines and to all setups.
Exactly.
And it's been comedy has been done acting has been done in so many years now that you can actually look into it and say, oh, well, you can go that way, method acting, or you can do this or do that. Something as stupid as, or not stupid, sorry. The movie Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro just sitting down talking to each other. People say that's some of the most epic acting ever because it feels so natural.
Yeah.
And
I think that's really like as somebody with a teaching background, I actually really appreciate the way Christine does it, because when you break something into little pieces, it's also very easy to kind of understand and kind of go over. And I've seen it, especially in some fitness classes and in some dance classes. Teachers just go and they show you a movement, and then you're like supposed to mimic.
yeah,
It's not the way you practice, and it's not the way I learn, at least not for me.
no,
Some people are very worse in that. I cannot, I need it really broken down, like in
Yeah.
smaller bits, so that I can consume it in my own speed.
and analyze.
Exactly.
The analytical-
Exactly.
And when it comes to like what you're talking about, it's even worse or even more meticulous when it comes to comedy and everything that is connected to that. Some people need this meticulously, like, okay, what are you doing there? You're talking about that subject, you're bringing that up, and you're kind of waiting, and you're not mentioning this where I would have mentioned that. One of my biggest mistakes is that I put too much stuff in between. My Oreo is seriously stuffed. I mean, I can pull out so much of that and just get to my point within 20 seconds,
Yeah.
where my original part would be a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think someone should actually tell me, I mean, dude, do you really love the sound of your voice that much? And I will answer like this. Yes.
I do have a podcast.
I mean, I love talking. I love hearing my voice, but I also love sitting with people for an hour and a half where nobody has their phone out unless it's looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Because then we're completely in tune with each other.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, we don't get that.
Yeah.
We don't get to talk to each other without someone just glancing at them.
Ooh, I do that.
I mean, if this was like
We all
100 years ago and people were looking down, like, what are you doing? My nails.
My newspaper.
They're dirty. Oh, yeah, I remember that one was like everybody's on their phones, like, what does society come to? And then someone posted a picture from like the subway of 1920, and everybody's with the newspapers.
Oh.
Yeah, but you could.
Must be the 1920s in Denmark.
Yeah, but you could beat people with a newspaper.
Yeah.
If you're there with your like iPhone, what number are we on now? iPhone 74?
16.
16. Would you beat someone to death with your iPhone?
No, it was too expensive.
If I had a newspaper, I mean, there'd be times where I would attempt to beat someone within an inch of their life with a newspaper.
It was over €1,000. I would have used my heels.
Oh,
It's
oh God, I have this. Oh God, the eye sockets. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I would have used something else.
And I actually have a pair of Doc Martens with a steel toe cap,
Oh.
and I would never. Never mind. I would never kick someone on I would never. Oh God, how can I say? I can't save that one now. No, no, no,
Do you remember
no.
that, like, Warner Brothers, like, would you really hit the guy with the glasses?
Yeah, I used to wear glasses, and I got hit in the head a lot. But
Figures.
that was also because of martial arts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Figures.
So putting on your glasses in martial arts classes was just a really bad idea. No, I never did that. I couldn't afford the glasses.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
so.
Let's not talk about medical costs in front of an American.
Oh dear.
Well, no, she's in Denmark, so she's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're medically covered over here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can shit on the American healthcare.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's horrible.
Yeah. I remember seeing. I was. Wait, what? Yo, there was an American. I was in Italy a couple of weeks ago, snowboarding, and there was an American, and one of their friends had fallen or done something stupid,
Yeah.
and they were at the trauma center and stuff like that, and They came out and like, I paid like $100 for an X-ray, and the American was like, "What? $100? They usually cost $2,000 for for an X-ray."
Yeah.
Really?
And then
Oh yeah. The insurance companies are just charging everything. All the prices are insane. Yeah, it's bad.
it is.
I go on Twitter and I see people on Twitter post their insurance bills for medical insurance,
Yeah.
home insurance, and I just want to put a pillow over my head and hide.
Cocaine is.
Killed the CEO of
Yeah,
United.
exactly.
Okay.
You know what? Let's just get that. Um, the glorification of that is terrible, and there's family and there are loved ones that is terrible. I understand the sentiment, but it's not the way to go. And basically, what he did was illegal, and of course, he should suffer the punishment of that. My God, I'm
And that
diplomatic.
will happen.
If I was like 18, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, man! He should have fucked the corpse with the gun in the butt, just like fucked him in the butt. Yeah, man!" And then peed
The
in,
Serbian movie is offering a royalty
yeah,
on.
and peed in his ear. But now I'm 44, and I kind of know now to take everything a bit more lightly. But yeah, that was wrong, and it's terrible. But it's also terrible that it has to be forced out to that level, and that means that something is systemically wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so glad that you girls can come here and spread happiness.
Yes.
And we don't have to think about stuff like that. And we can all put a smile on our faces
Exactly.
and have a great comedic time while thinking like, "Oh my God, I can't pay my benzo bill, but I'm so happy."
Yeah.
Shiny, happy people holding. Why isn't there a quick relief for depression? There is. It's called a train.
No. Oh, that's one of my jokes. That's one of my all-time favorite jokes of mine is, what's the nicest thing that anyone ever said to me? Get off the tracks.
Get off the tracks.
Because I was a little kid. It's real. I was a little kid, and my mom's car broke down, and I wandered off while she was like over the engine, and I was standing on the train tracks as a train was coming, like a total idiot.
Oh, you weren't that bright, huh?
I was not that bright. And
Neither was I.
No. Here's why I wasn't that bright. I was eating dried onions in a can.
Funyuns?
I don't think it was Funyuns. It was something very 1980s, and it was dried onions in a can.
I bet they made your farts awesome.
No, but I know it was good though.
Cool.
But I almost got killed.
I want to eat dried onions too now.
Onions in a can. Okay.
Dried onions. Well, I mean, in America, everything comes in a can.
Everything comes in a can.
Have you seen the one where you can actually get a full fucking roasted chicken in a can?
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
no.
I've seen
And when you
that.
open the can,
Oh, no.
it just goes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I guarantee you there are at least 100 men that have seen that video and said, "I can have intercourse with that."
Chicken?
Yeah. It's that disgusting.
Ew.
Not that intercourse is disgusting, that is beautiful.
Doesn't this
Between all sexes and whatever, yes.
all of this talk makes me want to go to the U.S.
And,
And bring
preach.
Greenland,
And
whatever.
preach. You want to come with your medical bill and you're like, "I have my medical bill, but Christine, there's nothing on there." Exactly, fuckers. Even the Canadians are like fucked right now, huh?
I don't know what's going on. I won't get into politics. We're about happiness.
Yes.
Guys.
And you're all allowed to take as many stickers as you want for that. You can put them on skateboards, snowboards, any other boards, board meetings, plywood boards. Don't put them on private
Laptops.
property. Oh, laptops is great, but put them on public property and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
cool. We have Christiania Brewhouse stickers in our hands right
That is good. Christiania Boykus.
now. Yes.
But girls, bring out something that you guys want to promote. We've done an hour and a half, and I think we're good right now. We can go off on so many tangents, but let's promote some of your stuff right now.
Okay, so Copenhagen Comedy Academy has a new class starting February 22nd.
And that is on Instagram, Copenhagen Comedy.
It's on Facebook, Copenhagen Comedy Academy. Also, there is a website, CopenhagenComedyAcademy.com. And
C's all the way through.
yes, C's all the way through. And February 22nd, 12 to 3 p.m., that's Saturday. Please sign up. Message me on, you message CCA on Facebook, and we'll sign you up.
Yes, and on Instagram they are also on Copenhagen
Oh,
Comedy
we
Academy.
actually don't have Instagram.
Yeah, you do.
actually found your Instagram. I
I
think
have
we
an
do.
Instagram?
You guys have 2 followers.
Oh my god, I didn't know I even had an Instagram account.
Oh my god, I should follow you. I had no idea.
I had no idea. It must have
I'm
been
not cutting this out, by the way.
Yeah.
This is showing really epic administration.
We have,
Okay, we need to talk after this.
yes, we have Facebook.
Oh, what's your MySpace account?
No. We have Facebook. Contact me on Facebook or check out the website.
Nobody uses Facebook anymore.
Okay, contact me on Facebook and check out the website, which will lead you back to Facebook.
All right. And on Facebook, it is Copenhagen Comedy Academy. And where they do hang out is at the Knock Knock
The Knock Knock Comedy Club,
in...
middle of Copenhagen, right by Stroget.
Yes, it's by the walking
Oh,
street. It's
yes.
called... oh, God, I know the address. Come on.
Vimmelskaftet,
Vimmelskaftet.
something.
Yeah,
Yes.
17.
yeah.
Thank you.
It's
And-
by the really good waffle place.
Yes,
It's by the
right
the
next to
really
that.
touristy waffle place.
The really touristy
You can
waffle
get
place.
But their soft ice is really
waffles,
good.
Ice
It's good.
cream, coffee.
and then there's the Triumph Lingerie store.
Yes.
That's nice.
Just Google Copenhagen Comedy Academy on Google Maps or Knock Knock Club. If you go there, you can ask at the bar in the Knock Knock Club about the Copenhagen Comedy Academy, but also message Christine on Facebook because she's a boomer apparently that has 2 followers on Instagram and probably has forgotten logins for her Instagram account. But we're happy that we're doing this on Instagram.
And important, it's right next to the waffle shop.
It is. It's
And the bra store.
the bra store.
It's in between the... It's right next to the bra store and the waffle store. And hopefully in this new year that they may even have a TikTok account.
It's TikTok's banned.
No,
No,
not
no.
in Denmark. Not in
No,
Denmark.
TikTok is fine again.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
TikTok is fine again.
Okay.
It's only China that banned TikTok.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll start more social.
No, but
media
like the
accounts.
TikTok account is actually a really good idea. We could actually upload some of the bits that we have.
I'm so old, Maya. I can't
the
run all of these
bits and maybe do
accounts.
some sketch.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's a really good idea.
Instagram.
I'm working my way into that. But yeah, I think you should. I think it's a great way to promote, especially if you want younger people to come in to join the academy and stuff like that.
Do it, Christine.
But
Okay.
I will
Well-
send me dates, and I would love to come and help out with like accents and stuff like
so
that.
that's your thing. I wanted to ask you, like, what would you like to like teach people about? And you would love accents. right?
I pretty much want to do a set one day where I just go to the crowd and just go, give me an accent.
That's amazing.
Do it.
We would love
Just do
that,
it.
Christine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would seriously
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that because like obviously like like accents could actually make or break a premise, a punchline, or a
They
joke.
can. I mean,
It's such a good thing.
accents work so well, and they can go in and set a premise, and they can give a punchline. I mean, and you can become extremely racist with them without them being racist. It's like I usually say that I'm racially ambiguous. I'm half Asian and I'm half white. But I'm not Asian enough that when I go to an Asian restaurant, that when I walk in there, they go, "Hey, ang lao nong lao la."
That was Thai.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't speak." Oh, you don't speak Asian? But then again, I'm not white enough that when I walk in there, that they treat me politely. They're like, "Who you?" And then just to put insult to injury, they'll be like, and I say, "I want it spicy," and you go, "Oh, Guilo, he don't like spicy. He can't take spicy." You know, it's just you can work with accents. I mean. It just take the entire state of America, like California, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody like Christina talks like that. Yeah. And you want to say like everything's better in LA. You're from LA? Yeah. But if you're from fucking New York, you're from the Bronx, you sound a bit like this, huh?
That is
Yeah.
so true. we forced Christine because like her class is supposed to be 6 weeks,
Mm.
and I think like we forced her to kind of switch that to 8, and then we kind of moved to an advanced class, and it's going all over the place. But I think like this is such a good thing because like here in Jan, and it's actually just a small thing because Jan posted a message on a Facebook group asking like who would like to promote the cool thing that they're doing in comedy,
Yeah.
and we suggested the Copenhagen Comedy Academy, and like it's all like a very very close knit community,
It is.
and like now you just feel it developing without actually like such a positive development, like it's actually nice.
It's spreading like the plague. The plague. Ah!
It's coming full circle.
Yeah, characters. This is your thing, characters.
Yeah, exactly.
I love to do. Yeah.
Because when you do accents, you do them as a character.
Yeah.
There is a distinct character behind that accent.
Oh yeah, there is. I mean, I was thinking, was that Voldemort or something? No, it's not Voldemort. It's kind of a mix.
But it is very close.
Harry Potter,
Yeah.
I can touch you. And I've never
It's
seen
like
Harry
Maggie
Potter.
Gyllenhaal doing Harry Potter.
Oh God, yeah, on LSD while on benzos. I think this podcast is like there's a lot of benzo talk. Hey, Jordan Peterson.
If
Sorry
anybody
sorry
wants to
about your
sponsor-
benzo addiction.
Please sponsor us.
And when you listen to that voice, you can already hear she's already on them. Please sponsor us. We are not on benzos
I
already.
hope my boss.
I am happy.
We are so happy.
Yes. We are either on benzos or in a cult.
Both.
A benzo cult.
Oh, no.
We're sponsored by the German car company Mercedes Benzos. When driving into walls just doesn't make you care at all. Oh. Aha, ist ein ganz gut. Yeah. There was a lot of good jokes there too.
Yes.
Please feel free to use this podcast as a writing session for all of your new sessions, and I would be happy to come and join you whenever you guys have the time. And I'll come and
We
shit
should
on all your
expand this.
students, and I'll just yell at them in Scottish.
Oh, yes.
Read, you rat bastard! You're not funny.
But you have to wear the kilt, and you can't wear anything under the kilt.
I don't wear kilts anymore because
have a lot of women in the
my
class, did
my
we
kilts
mention?
my kilts. I was like, if I'm gonna wear a kilt, it has to be slutty. So it was basically a mini skirt. And when you walk over a vent,
And you do your Marilyn Monroe.
happy birthday,
Nobody
Mr.
cares.
Pres. And when you're an Asian man, that's not really impressive anyway. So, oh, he has an extra belly button. My God, man, you have the ugliest clitoris I've ever seen in the whole history of female body. I'm a man. I feel very sorry for you, young sir.
Did you just assume my gender?
Oh man, I've reached an age where just assume whatever the fuck you want. Just leave me alone.
Me and my kilt. Cheers.
Well, girls, it has been an absolute pleasure to have the Copenhagen Comedy Academy on the podcast, and I hope you guys all had fun. And go in and check Copenhagen Comedy Academy on Facebook and apparently on Instagram. To you people only on TikTok, go take a benzo and get fucked. And otherwise, go down to Christiania Brugghus, and hopefully we will see these girls and this troupe over in Christiania at some point.
We will.
So, girls, give all your individual goodbyes.
Thank you all so much for listening to this podcast. I hope I see you in a class in the future.
Or in one of our shows and showcases. It's actually super fun if you manage to snag a ticket before they're all sold out.
Ooh.
So, come.
Not sure how to.
You can cut this out and use this voiceover in certain movies.
I'm pretty sure she meant COME and not the alternative way to spell it, because you fucking nincompoops who spell things shorter should be shot. Grammar Nazi is a real thing, and we must stay hold to how we speak. Yeah. Jawohl. Oh, maybe right now in the political climate, doing the whole German thing is not really a.
No, I think we're good. The Russian thing is now the problem.
And the Russian accent
Wasn't
is so
there?
much funner.
Wasn't there someone that did a Roman salute here soon?
It was Elon.
Yes.
It was Elon. But honestly, Russian accent is the best, and it's the only one I can do. So let's focus on that.
If you want to do a Russian or Middle Eastern, just avoid the
But
articles.
if you were looking at Elon Musk, he did salute all days, not like Promised Land back in USSR. Very good, very good. Da. Dobro. And on that note, Bam Bam is out.